stop blowing all our money on race supplies.
Well, yeah. So I'll save money and learn how to jump my truck off with a DeWalt battery so that I can sign up for the next race.
Instead of buying a jump pack, because
Yeah.
why spend money there?
No.
I figured out what race pack. What are they called? Like is that right?
Hydration vest?
Yeah, a
Okay.
hydration vest,
What do you
but
go
for
with?
running. I know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the Solomon Advanced Skin, but I think I'm gonna get the 5 liter, the small one.
Itty bitty one?
Yeah,
Because you're itty bitty?
because we're not gonna need much.
No.
There's aid stations close enough, and primarily all of the running that we do is down here in Florida, where it's hotter than Hades.
Yeah.
So the least amount of surface area I'm covering up on me, the better, I think.
That's
I'm
fair.
used to running without a shirt anyway, so I think having anything on is going to be different, to say the least.
A friend of mine ran some ultras with just a handheld bottle and a fanny pack.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I want to carry like a lot of food because you still have all the required things you need to bring with you.
Yeah, I don't really like things in my hands that much.
Oh, really?
Like, I hate running with my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. And I run with my water bottle in my hand right now because it's my only option.
Yeah.
But I'm eager to see how I like the backpack style.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah.
When I did the Mind Over Miles, my kit weighed probably, I weighed it just under 10 pounds, I think, with the water and everything in it.
Yeah, not ideal.
So, I mean, it definitely adds a different element to the running style, but some of our listeners are getting after it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a text this morning. One of our listeners did a 3.5 mile run. And he says, "Dude, I'm dying," but his like average heart rate was like 160 something.
Wow.
Yeah, he's out there getting it. If you're just getting into running too, something that he's going through right now, he says, "Well, first running injury." And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "I have shin splints." I hear that a lot, people that are just getting into running, and I mean, I went through the same thing. Shin splints aren't necessarily, they are an injury, but don't let that deter you. That's your body's way of telling you that your legs just haven't built up yet.
You went too hard too fast,
Yeah.
number one. And number two, your form needs correcting.
Yes.
Because even I do runs a lot. I went through a phase, I don't know, a couple months ago where I had minor shin splints, or they were starting and I could feel it. And basically I was just pushing too hard too fast.
Yeah.
And also my form was probably not the best when I got tired.
Right.
And so I was running tired a lot and my form would deteriorate. And then you're overstriding. That causes shin splints.
Yep.
You're picking your feet up too high and like slamming them on the ground.
Yep.
That doesn't help. So if you can run in the grass, that's a big win.
Barefoot running helps.
Yeah, focus on taking smaller steps and more of them.
Yeah.
A faster turnover rate or cadence.
Yep.
And less length in each step.
I helped a guy at the firehouse. He's leaving to go to basic training in January. He says, "Hey, can you help me with my running stride?" I said, "Sure." This guy is like, he's every bit of 7 foot. He's tall, very tall. And that just gave away because he's the tallest guy in the department. But he went and ran just like across the back pad of the station. He looked like a little baby giraffe running. I mean, it was impressive. But his cadence was like, I kid you not, his just loosely looking and counting, his cadence was like 110. Yes.
How that fast?
It was like just reach, slap, reach, slap. It was like he was bounding.
Is he sprinting?
No, just a brisk run. I counted it. Like, I'm for real. It was really bad. Well, anyway, so then we went.
That's super fast.
110 steps? That's slow. It should be like 180.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking of that backwards. I was thinking that it was, I don't know why I had 80 in my mind, but it's 180. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 180.
I gotcha. Yeah,
It's like
okay. That makes sense.
Or ideal.
That makes sense because he's ginormous, so he's taking way less.
Yeah. So
which that's always probably going to be a thing for him. Like 180 is not his optimal.
No. And I told him that. So I was like, we set a metronome and we just did like a trot, just like stationary. I said, just to the beat, just try to like tap your feet, like, a run in place. That was really hard for him, but he eventually was able to get it. I set it at 170. So this is even on the high end for you, but this should get the concept down.
He should probably start at like 150 and try and do that.
Yeah, like I said, I set it at that because I wanted him to just feel that rhythm of like, okay, this is about where you should be.
Yeah.
And this would be on the high end, but do
what
it.
you're striving for.
But you should be striving for this. And so eventually he got it, and he like rolls really bad on his feet. Like he'll land on the outside of his foot and roll in, which
He interpronates.
Yeah. So like I said it that way. So people that don't understand. Yeah. But I do that to some degree, and so it was perfect that I was able to kind of help him with that because I struggle with that too. And so by 20, 30 minutes, his stride already looked way better.
That's awesome.
And way more efficient. But he was complaining of shin splints. That's how that got brought up.
Gotcha.
And a lot of that was because of his stride.
Did you give him the pointers on doing the ankle stretches and the strengthening? Because that'll help with the overpronating and interpronating.
And our on our Instagram, if you go on there, go back a few reels, there is a video of one that I put up of some of the ankle stretches and stuff that I do to prevent injury, but also help rehab. So even when you have those shin splints or those injuries, you can use those bands to kind of help move and exercise those muscles to make them stronger. A lot of people think that shin splints is like stress fractures of your shin, which can be the case, but most of the time it's actually the fascia of your muscle. It's actually kind of under stress and it's pulling away. So by range of motion, stretching, and band exercises, you can help alleviate some of that stress on your legs. So this is the Suffer Up podcast with Nate and Ryan. We are in the shop today, and we're excited to come at you today with a topic that we have discussed briefly privately, and we're excited to open that up. But first and foremost, we want to thank our sponsors, Sofsocs. Yeah, we love them. Sofsocs is a company that makes a compression fitting toe sock that's form fitting to your feet. We love them here. We run pretty much exclusively in them now. We've put several hundred miles in them, and I have not had any blisters in my running since switching to those. So
the only blister I got was the day that I brought 2 right foot soft socks and could only run with 1 sock on and 1 sock off.
Yeah.
That ended in a blister on
that's
the sock.
Your fault. That's
on
not
the sock list. Yeah, no, that was on the sock list foot. So
yeah.
Soft socks protecting my foot. No sock, not so much.
Ryan, later when he brought that up to me, I said, well, did you just turn the soft sock inside out and make it work?
Yeah, probably could have.
Could have, but he didn't. So
didn't think about that at the time, Nate.
So anyway, you can check them out on our link tree. We have a discount code it's still live. So get them while we still have that code. And that is Suffer10. I had the opportunity of going out and pacing/crewing for a short period. Some friends of ours during their 50-mile run at the Wildcat Ultra, and I was alongside another pacer who was pacing another person, and he didn't have proper socks on. I gave him a pair of my soft socks, and now he's a believer in soft socks. So a real quick conversion to just him putting them on his feet, and he says he loves them enough he's going to get him a pair. So what are we?
That's all it takes.
What are we talking about today?
So far it's just been race equipment, soft socks. No, we're going to go into discussion about distractions and busyness.
Okay.
This is something that has come up in my life recently, looking around at some others and at myself. Just how many times do we get distracted doing things that are not necessarily useful? They may not be bad things, but are they prosperous things?
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference in like, is it good or bad? Well, it's not bad, but does that make it good?
Right.
So, going to talk about some distractions and how we can defend ourselves from becoming too distracted and quote unquote busy. Our society loves to make us busy.
Yeah.
Fill our calendars.
Mm-hmm. You think back like to the olden days, everybody worked to live.
Yeah.
And now we kind of live to work. And it's crazy how when you have that vacation, like we plan vacations now, they didn't like take vacations back then because they just had rest built into their schedule. Because once the fields were tended to and the animals were cared to, and they rested. And when the sun went down, they went to bed, and when the sun got up, they got up.
Yep.
Now we have everything pulling every which way to get us to do this or that.
Yeah. So, and you think about like the seasonal crops and harvesting and stuff. Yeah, there was seasons of rest where you could do nothing.
Right.
I mean, you could do something, but there's always something to do on a farm.
There is.
But yeah, they were not able to be out in the farm fields all day.
Right.
So, yeah. I actually just learned about the harvest moon recently.
Okay.
It's like the last full moon of autumn, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe the last full moon of summer. I don't know. Anyways, the point of it, the reason it's called that is because it was a period when they would be out in the field harvesting, and then even when the sun went down, they would stay out there and harvest with the full moon.
Yeah.
Because it was the last full moon of the harvest season.
Okay.
I
remember it as a kid looking up on the horizon when that moon would come up, and it was just massive.
Yeah.
And it was always right when the air was starting to get crisp and fall was in the air. Now we live in Florida, and it gets into the 70s, and we're like, wow, fall's here. This is great.
I got a hoodie on this morning.
Yeah.
73 degrees out.
My heat acclimation percentage on my watch is going to go down now.
Sweater
it's
weather.
Too cold. Sweater weather. And my wife reminded me that the fall coffees are out.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busyness in our schedules. One thing that I think about when I think about busyness is like, oftentimes you can easily overwhelm your calendar or your schedule by saying yes to everything. As I've gotten older, I've had to teach myself to say no. And so when something comes up, I just will tell them no. Like, hey, are you going to come out tonight to this? Like, no, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And I used to feel like I had to give a reason. And, but now that like married, kids, all the stuff, it's like, I don't really care what you think of me after me saying no, because I need to prioritize time with my family. Sometimes I'll tell them like, no, it's been a crazy week. I need to be home with my kids. I need to be home to spend time with them.
You told me no about something Saturday morning.
It was a workout.
To go work out. Yeah. And you told me no, and you told me like I'm gonna enjoy that extra time with my kids and my wife. So
right.
I get it, man. I'm not gonna judge you at all for it. I think it takes a stronger, more confident human being to say no to things than it does to say yes. It's very easy to be like, yeah, I can do that, or just be the yes man. You know, even like, do you like this? Do you like that? And you just say yes to everything, rather than you actually taking a moment, thinking about it. Does this fit my schedule? Does this fit my priorities?
Yep.
Do I actually want to do this? And maybe the answer is no.
Right.
That's okay. And I feel a lot of people have pressure to say yes just because they don't want to let somebody down. But what happens when you say yes and then you don't make it because you had other stuff going on, or you get there and you say yes to doing something that you didn't really want to do, and you're not really in it. You know, you're there, but your heart's not really in it.
Right.
Like, don't you feel like you're letting that person down more by doing those things than if you would have just told them no in the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah, because then you feel pulled or torn. You're not able to give 100% of yourself to whatever you just said yes to.
Yeah.
Another example, too, is like, you know, right now we're trying to save up some money so that, like, this time of year we try to save up for Christmas so that we can have, you know, the Christmas that we want to have, and then, you know, other things that we're trying to save up for. So that comes with working extra to pay for those things, which is fine. I'm happy to do that. But one thing that Lauren and I have kind of tried really hard to do is to keep our weekends open. Lexi's in school now. And so with Lexi being in school, the Saturday overtime's always there because it's also college football season. So everybody wants to take off during football, and sick leave usage goes up. The productivity of the fire department and America as a whole goes down drastically when September hits.
Really?
I'm making this up.
I mean,
but
it's
obvious.
I never would have thought about that, but it makes perfect sense.
Everything's revolved around football.
Jeez.
Everything. Like, think about it. Like, oh no, like, it's even obvious in the deer woods because people will go out in the morning. They're all back in their trucks by 9 o'clock to be back for that 10 o'clock game. And then the woods is all to yourself.
Time to go hunting after that.
Yeah, like that game, technology has advanced. You can watch that game at 2 a.m. if you want and just save it. But you got to watch it live and
you watch it from the deer stand too.
Or you could watch it from the deer stand. So whatever. But I enjoy watching football. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing football, but.
Oh, I am. We spend way too much time watching grown men play games.
Overpaid grown men. Well, it's college season, so like technically they're not getting paid.
That's a subject for another podcast.
Sorry. But anyway, like back to the original thought there was, overtime's very prevalent on the weekends. And so I try really hard not to pick up overtime on Saturday or Sunday, especially Sunday, that's Lord's Day. But on Saturday, there's always overtime available. And I look at Lauren like, there's overtime here and it's convenient. It's at my station. She's like, Lexi's home. Like, you're right. Lexi's home. And I'm going to hopefully look back and think like I prioritize my Saturdays to be home with her.
Yep.
And I don't think I'll regret that. But
no, if you broke down 18 years into how many Saturdays that is, you'd probably be shocked.
Yeah.
Like, man, one actually is a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about to be squirrel season.
Take Lexi out.
Lexi loves going squirrel hunting. Yeah, she loves it. Did I ever tell you about the birthday present that she got me?
No.
This is the most meaningful birthday present I've ever received, ever in my life. So when we were in Georgia, I took her squirrel hunting once and we shot 2 squirrels and she just thought it was the coolest thing ever, watching the squirrels fall out of the tree. And I've got a picture of her holding the squirrels by their tails, like when she was, I don't know, she's probably 4 years old then.
Yeah.
This little princess girl is holding 2 dead squirrels. Proud
That's
dad
awesome.
moment.
Yeah.
Well, she knew my birthday was coming up, and so she said, Lauren, or mommy, not Lauren. She calls her mommy. Mommy, we need to get daddy a birthday present. And Lauren says, well, what do you want to get daddy? Oh, I have an idea. We should get him a squirrel call. And Lauren's like, I don't know if they make squirrel calls, like, whatever. So she looked it up and they said, yeah, they Academy has them. So Lexi goes to her piggy bank and takes the whole thing, dumps it on the table. I'm not home. And she counts up her money in her piggy bank. And Lauren's like, honey, I'll buy the squirrel whistle for you to give to daddy. That's fine. You don't have to spend your money on this. She's like, no, I want to. She takes her money, goes to Academy, and walks up to the man behind the gun counter and says, sir, I'm looking for a squirrel call. Do you happen to have one? Like, just as proud as can be. And the gentleman says, yes, why I actually do. And so there's this little tin whistle, and you blow on it, and it makes this high-pitched squeal.
Yeah.
And it's on a little lanyard. When she gave that to me, and I heard the story that she used her money to buy me a squirrel whistle, and she says, I bought this so that next time we go squirrel hunting together, we can kill more squirrels. And my heart just sank, man. I'm like, she spent her own money to buy something so that we could spend more time together.
That's awesome.
Like that was really, really, really special. It's so prized that it's in the gun safe.
And all that sparked from you taking the time to spend with her in the first place, not being distracted, not being too busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Man. Over a silly little squirrel whistle, but that squirrel whistle means the world to me.
It's not that silly. That's super meaningful.
I want it around my neck in my coffin when I die.
No. She's got to pass that down to her kids, man.
Just for the funeral. Then she can take it off. But yeah, that squirrel whistle means a lot to me. So, but yeah, just prioritizing that time. And you, back to like the original point here, this all ties in, but you dictate how busy you will be.
Yep.
You can say no.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think as soon as you say that, everybody kind of takes a sigh and goes, yeah, but that's so hard sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no. And it is. That's what goes back to what I was saying. Like, you don't want to let people down, but not being your fullest, most present self would be letting them down more.
Yeah.
So you might as well just tell them ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think there's a caveat there too. There's seasons of busyness. Like my wife and I will say it.
Oh yeah.
We'll look at each other.
You're busy.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's hammer down.
Yeah.
Everything is around that. And,
but that season comes with knowing that and knowing that you need to say no to more other things.
Yeah.
Because you've got this obligation.
Yeah. No,
Like
that's a
I
good point.
have a 10-month-old child. I have to say no to every Saturday in hunting season or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't just do everything because you know that this season is here and
Yep.
you know what it entails. And being an adult means that you're gonna
Yeah.
recognize that and do what you need to do.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, like Lauren will look at me and she's like, "When are you gonna be home next?" I don't know right now, but this next week we just got to get through this week. Once we get through this week, then we are good to go. Like we can reset, we can regroup, and then we can get reorganized in the beginning of next week or so. And then from there we can reorganize, reprioritize, and then we can execute.
Yeah.
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 I got Jocko's book on Audible right now.
Sounded like a Jocko quote.
Well, prioritize and
Prioritize,
execute.
execute,
Yeah.
evaluate, do it again.
Yeah. So what are some ways in your life, in your house, that you try to keep the busyness at bay? You're a small business owner too, so that adds a whole nother level of complexity.
Yeah, it does. You've really got to be diligent with compartmentalizing your time, saying, I'm not going to take any work calls after this time, or I'm not going to take any work calls on the weekend. And I try and do that, and I still fail. I mean, this stuff still comes up, and I'm like, oh, let me just answer this now.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me answer this one text turns into a 30-minute thing of me going back and forth with the customer or figuring out a price for something. So I'm by no means have I got it all figured out, but trying to set hard times of like, hey, after 5 p.m., I'm not going to take any calls.
Yeah.
Um, that definitely helps. But the more important thing I think is recognizing when you do something that you're not wanting to do. So like I don't want to take any calls on the weekends. I don't want to take any texts on the weekends. Well, somebody texts me and they ask me a question. I look at it. Oh, I can quickly respond. I respond. It didn't take any time hardly, but I think it's important that you recognize, hey, I just did what I said I wasn't going to do. Yes, it may have only taken 30 seconds or a minute to respond back to that person, but was it really urgent? Could it have waited? And if the answer is yes, then that's a note to self. Hey, I need to do better next time. I mean, I actually just yesterday, no, yesterday was Monday, it was a holiday. Sunday, somebody messaged me. I messaged them back, a current customer, and they had a question and he wanted to call me. And I said, call me tomorrow. Call me on the weekday, please. I'm going to go spend time with my family. So I responded to him, but then I told him, hey, I'm going to push this call off till later. And I think that was the right choice, answering a current customer so that they know that they're heard.
Yeah.
Because people go crazy sometimes when they're not heard. But then identifying, hey, I'm gonna contact you at a later time.
Yeah.
So I would say do that if you can, and just when you do fail, by your own standards, recognize that and make a plan to not do that again.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that's a good point about compartmentalizing. Plus, your kids, they understand too. Like, if you have something going on and they know that this block during the quiet time or downtime, however your house is set up, during that quiet time, that daddy needs to do this. This is my chance to answer emails, answer phone calls, send texts, do whatever marketing you need to do. They understand that. And then you tell them, at 3:00, when that clock says 3:00, I'm done. And then we can go outside, play, go to the park, do whatever, do color, whatever activities you have for your house and for your family. And then obviously, I know we've talked about a lot on here too, but also dinner time. Dinner time is a special time. No phones. And it's hard sometimes because you've got something that you feel is pressing, but the good Lord has blessed you with a family and has blessed you with a wife. And so your biggest responsibility is the family unit in the home.
Yep.
And I think if the world would prioritize the family unit more, I think that America would be in a little different place. Everybody's chasing the corporate ladder, chasing this, that, and the other. And although those things are important and your job does matter because you are also commanded to provide for your family, but if all of that fails, if your job doesn't care about you. I don't care.
Nope.
I don't care where you work. They don't really truly care. You're there to fill a seat and do a job. Now, the people within the organization, they can care about you.
Yeah. But
But
to the job, you're replaceable.
yeah, you are replaceable. Everybody's replaceable. So I hate that methodology, but it's ultimately it's true. And so if all of that crumbles and fails and you come home, if your wife can't stand looking at you and your kids don't recognize you anymore because you're never present at home, you've that's a failure.
Yeah.
But-
What did you do it all for?
right. And you can come home after being an absolute turd at work and being just a horrible human being, which I'm not like promoting that,
Would not
but
recommend.
don't recommend. But say you just had a really bad day and you just weren't a good guy, you can come home and that little boy or that little girl can give you a hug and you're still the greatest thing on earth, which is also very humbling too, because you're like, oh, you don't even, it's just a very humbling feeling when you've got a little human at home that thinks the world of you.
It is. And how you can mess up and you can beat yourself up so hard and think that you've just blown it. But when you get home, those little people,
Yep.
man, they don't see you like that.
Nope.
You're way harder on yourself than they will probably ever be.
Yep.
And that's a powerful thing too, man.
It really is.
Kids make up for anything that you might say to yourself.
Yeah. So what can we send to our listeners that are listening to this and they're thinking like, man, I just don't feel like I can keep up. Life's too busy. I don't have time. You hear the excuse of time all the time. The excuse for time all the time.
All the time.
All the time. All the time there's no time. Time's thrown around so much, but like what can we send to our listeners about when life gets busy and things get hard and you just don't feel like you're going to make it through the week? What is something that we can share with them just off the cuff?
The first thing that comes to my mind is actually a Bible verse. It says, this is Ephesians 5:15 through 17. It says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is." There's a bunch of stuff in here to unpack, but do not be unwise, but be wise.
Yep.
And you do that by making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil.
Yeah.
The days will suck your time away. Yes, a day goes by and you have time, but like you said, it seems like we never have time.
Yeah.
And so don't be foolish, but understand the Lord's will.
Yeah.
All of that just lines up perfectly with what we're talking about, that you need to kind of pause. It feels like you don't have time, but you have time to take a step back, pause, think about what really matters here. What is God's will with what I'm doing right now with my life, and what is the wisest thing that I can do to follow that? If, like I said at the beginning of this, the question isn't, is something good or bad? That's a pretty clear answer, like stealing things is bad. But do I need to go into the 7-Eleven and buy a Twinkie? Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
But is it a good thing? No. So there's a lot of examples of that with your time too. Is sitting on my phone for 10 minutes a bad thing? Well, not necessarily. I mean, maybe you're doing work. Maybe you're watching a video, and maybe you're doing something like reading the Bible even on your phone. And that's probably a bad example. There's always time to read the Bible. But
no, yeah.
Even that, if you're supposed to be doing something else, like if you're supposed to be picking up your kids from school, then it's great that you're sitting there reading the Bible, but you're not doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Just because you're doing something good doesn't mean that it's a good thing. And just, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's actually a book that I read a while back called The Screw Tape Letters.
Okay.
By C.S. Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I think, have you read it?
No, but I'm familiar with the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the book, the whole premise is that these letters are between two demons. One being I forget which one it is, if Screwtape's the older one or the younger one, but essentially, this letter is from an older seasoned demon responding to his nephew or whatever, is this junior demon who's been corresponding with him.
Okay.
And so if I remember correctly, you don't hear the junior person's messages or letters, but you get the older guy's responses. And in it, he may say, what you're doing is, while I understand your sentiment behind it, it is time wasted or whatever. And then he'll go on to say, this is what you should do. And his recommendations, a lot of time as the senior demon here to tempt us as humans, his recommendations are to keep them distracted, because when they're distracted, they cannot truly enjoy the fruits of their labor or the life that God has designed for them. And they can't truly follow God's will.
Right.
That's one of the biggest tactics for them, is keep them distracted.
Yep.
And I think about that all the time when I get distracted. I think, like, wow, what I'm doing isn't a bad thing, but it's keeping me distracted from what I'm truly meant to be doing.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful way of looking at it. I can't stop thinking about it when something comes up. Like, wow, I am being tempted right now, not to do something bad, but just to waste my time, waste my life, this life that God has gifted me.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's so many things, like, it's not a sin to be tempted. The Bible says that, like, Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, but it's acting on those temptations.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of, what's the word I want? Fortitude, mental fortitude, to be able to recognize your position in this big world, so to speak, of like, okay, I'm here right now, and this is my goal, my mission, whatever. These are my objectives. And then, kabling, this happens. Okay, I'm going to handle that real quick. Okay, back on the mission. Kabling. Okay, I'm going to handle that. Back on the mission. Kabling. It's like, eventually, like, you create these snail trails.
Yeah.
And you're like way off track of where the original mission is.
When we're talking, sometimes we like to say, oh, we just went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're doing every day in life.
Yep.
That pa-ting sound that you're making, that's your notification sound on your phone.
Yeah.
You get a freaking notification, and you look at it, and whatever you were just doing, out the window.
Sabotaged.
For however long you're staring at your phone now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it is awful how often we do that. And if you really try and, I challenge you guys, take a day and try and recognize every time that you do something like that. You'll be astonished. Before noon, you'll be like, holy smokes, I have caught myself getting distracted 20 times.
Yep.
There's probably been a few that I didn't even catch. And you just be mind blown at how often it happens and how quickly it happens. And, it's just a little thing. Nope, that's a distraction.
Yep.
What should you be doing right now? Or what could you be doing right now? So I'm going to read that passage again. So Ephesians 5:15-17. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. And then I've got a question. How many opportunities from God have you missed, or have we missed, because we weren't paying attention to what he was telling us?
A lot. That's like a generic answer to a very specific question.
Yeah, well, there is no specific answer, not that we can provide.
A little more rhetorical, but
yeah, a lot is correct.
A lot, yeah.
And just think about if every person had paid attention and focused on answering this one opportunity from God, just one of the many opportunities that he's provided, how different all of our lives may be, how different the country might be.
Yeah. I'm going to like back your point up.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, say you're sitting and you're answering a work email or phone call, and your daughter is tugging at your arm saying, "Daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy." How many daddies do they say until they finally get frustrated, and then you snap out of it and you're like, "Yes, yeah, what is it?"
Yeah.
You didn't hear what I just said? It's happened to me.
That's the better scenario. The worst scenario is when you snap at them
Correct.
and say, "Hold on a second,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of something. Can't you see I'm working on an
Right.
email?"
They don't see that as important, but like tying that back to what you're saying, and obviously I'm not comparing God to my children, but God is got his hand on your shoulder and he's
Yeah.
like, Nate, Nate, hey Nate, 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 hello, Nate,
Hello.
and then finally, like he's a just God, and eventually, like he was trying to tell you something or teach you something, and you were not present because you were busy with whatever, and you're pushing it aside. No, I'll get to it in a minute. I'll get to it in a minute. I'll get to it in a minute. And then when you finally turn, you're like, "Where have you been, Nate?
Yeah.
I've been here the whole time. Where have you been?"
Or when you snap at God and go, I'm just not meant to do that, or like,
Yep.
it's just not going to work out for me.
Doubting God. Yeah.
Doubting God, doubting yourself. I saw something else recently, or read it, that God doesn't give you thoughts or ideas that you're not meant to have. So if you've got an idea to start a business, chase that.
Yeah.
I don't do it haphazardly and
Yeah. Right.
irresponsibly, and just go invest all the money you have in savings into whatever it is. Like, develop a business plan. God wants you to be wise, as we read in
Yeah.
that verse. Do things in a wise way. But if He's given you this desire in your heart to do something, what is stopping you? Who are you to tell God, no, that's not what I'm meant to be
Yeah.
or do?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Who are we to stifle God's thoughts that He's putting in our
Right.
minds and our hearts?
I agree with you, but I'm going to put just like a disclaimer in there because somebody listening is going to be like, man, somebody said, I've been wanting to start a donut shop for forever. I'm just going to do it now that Ryan said that. There's a process, but
Be wise.
what's that?
Be wise.
Yeah, be wise with it, of course, like the scriptures say here. But yeah, you need to be wise. You need to seek counsel and look at it and pray about it.
Go on.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, another verse came to mind in lieu of this of like, be anxious for nothing, but at everything with prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God.
Mm-hmm.
And so by making those requests to God, it's kind of like a two-way street here, right?
It's a relationship.
It's a relationship.
Yeah.
So be wise with all these things, but how do you get wisdom? And that's yeah. Wisdom is earned through experiences and through failures and through understanding concepts and principles. So with all of that in mind, it's like, if I agree 1000% with what you're saying, but when, God's given you that desire, lay that desire upon your heart, take it, process it, have a conversation with God, pray about it. And then when it's time to act on that, God will make it clear.
Yeah. I'll give an example. Somebody I know has been thinking about homeschooling their children.
Yeah.
And while it would be unwise for them to just like quit their job and pull their kids out of school and start homeschooling, they should still act on that feeling, that sense that they're getting from the Lord. Like, hey, you should be homeschooling your kids, but you shouldn't just quit your job.
Right.
It's a process. So pray about it, talk to God. And maybe it's a process like you just need to keep working for a while, save up some money, wait till the end of the school year, whatever it is, and then you can then all the doors are going to open and it's all going to make sense and it's going to happen. Or maybe the process is, you're going to stop working here, start working somewhere else as a part-time and kind of ease into it, transition from getting a full paycheck to a partial paycheck to nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's going to turn into, you're going to homeschool your kids and then you're going to start some homeschooling school and like homeschool a bunch of people's kids and it's going to be a big business venture. The thing is, you have no idea what it's going to turn into, how God's going to use it.
Yep.
If you don't answer that call and start following those things, stop telling him you're too busy, stop being so distracted. Oh, I've got a job. I need to provide for my kids. Yes, you do, but maybe God has something better in store.
Yeah.
And to your point of, I've had this idea to start a donut shop. So you do it the wise way. You start talking to God. You start going down the path. And maybe you realize, hey, donut shop, there's already 14 in this city.
Yeah.
We don't need another one of those. And God leads you down another route to start a taco truck or something. I don't know.
Right.
You have no idea where the path will take you unless you put aside your distractions and your busyness and you get in the Word, get in prayer, and talk with others. Do the things that the Bible says to be wise.
Yeah.
And start going down that route. It's remarkable to me how people think that it has to be my way or the highway. It's like, dude, it's never your way.
Yeah.
Never has been, never will be.
Yep. One big key word that kind of came to mind there was the word surrender.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, when you feel that tugging or calling of the Holy Spirit tugging at you, if you're a believer and you have repented and believe you're a child of the King, right? You need to surrender and submit, just like you did. Like, that's the whole message of the gospel, is surrender and take up your cross daily. So if you're not surrendering and humbling and lowering yourself of, like, God, here I am, use me. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? And time is one of the biggest things that he wants from you, because the time is ultimately his. It's not ours. What are we doing with our time? What are we filling
our days
our
are
eyes?
numbered, and only he knows them.
That's it. That's a really good, heavy charge right there. So to summarize that this week, think about things that you can do to prioritize your time, things you can do to eliminate the distractions, and submit and surrender.
Yeah. Surrender that time that you would have been distracted.
Yep.
Catch yourself. Oh, no, I'm not going to be distracted. I surrendered this time to the Lord.
Yeah.
And see where it takes you.
Yep.
See where he leads you.
Yeah, and this shouldn't just be a 1 week exercise. This should be a life exercise. but
I think in a week people would recognize that this is life changing.
Yeah, 1,000%.
First off, you'd be surprised at how much stuff you can get done when you're not distracted.
That's true. Oh, and like, leave with this too. Lauren brought this up the other day because I was trying to, I took that class and my brain was just like on overdrive. This last week was quite rough in the Boyshell house, but it was like, man, I can't even formulate a thought or a sentence. Like, I mispronounce the common spelling of Lucy. Yeah. Well, anyway, it was a whole thing. And I told Lauren, I said, my brain just, I don't know what's wrong. I think I'm dyslexic. I probably still am. But it was the whole thing. And she's like, they say if you do a screen detox, like for, I don't remember the time she said, she found a statistic, but we'll just say it's 48 hours of like no screens.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain capacity goes up
dramatically
by a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember seasons of my life where I went back to a dumb phone or, just, so now I'm trying to intentionally put my phone away.
Yeah.
Close all computers and tablets and TVs and everything, turn it all off for at least 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Where there's like no access to any screen. And that seems to be helping my brain, but constantly.
You can do a partial detox like that just by like deleting social media off your phone.
Yeah.
You can do a social media detox, and that helps dramatically too with your stress and everything. There's been studies out there about that. I don't know them well enough to quote them, but there's studies that your happiness, like your mood, will increase by not being on social media more.
Yeah.
Which is just astonishing because so many people feel like they have to get on social media and post about their lives, but it doesn't make you happy.
No.
And seeing everyone else's doesn't make you happy either.
Yeah.
The people that you care about, you already know what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're going to delete social media, I'd encourage you to do this. I want you to delete and unfollow everything except for the Suffer Up channel. And then we will just ramp up the following and everything.
Yeah.
And then we'll just give you all the insight, whatever you need.
Strictly good things.
Just strictly good things, but that's going to require feedback from you. So
good vibes only.
You can send us ideas that you want us to talk about or open up. Yeah. And then, it'll just be great. And then we'll just only tune into this. Just obviously a joke, guys. But yeah, no, Ryan, you're absolutely right that a lot of times people constantly are comparing or thinking about like, man, I wish, and I'm guilty of it. Man, I just feel like I haven't done anything with my life. Like, what am I doing? Like, those are all thoughts of the devil. Like, maybe you were a turd at some point in your life, like I was, but at the end, what are you doing to fix it, mitigate,
Can't
move
change
on?
it. Like you told somebody
it,
in a race recently, like that time's done and gone.
Yep.
What are you gonna do next?
Yeah, what's next? So the same thing with starting this podcast, man. It just kind of like, we'll see what happens. And I can honestly say that there's a few lives I can already tell have been changed for the better because of, and
that's just what we can see.
That's just what we can see. But like, we're not even, all we're doing is regurgitating what God says and what we've learned in our experiences.
Trying our best to.
Yeah, and the tiny bit of wisdom that we have to offer this world. And people hear it and people can relate to it, and then they're like, wow, that was actually really, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
People aren't talking anymore.
There's another statistic out there. I need to like just print off a bunch of statistics because I want to talk about them all the time. There's another statistic out there that talks about how
another statistic
how people have to see or hear something like 7 times before they actually acknowledge it or it sticks with them.
Yep.
So, maybe this is the 7th time for some people that have heard put your phone down and be present with your children.
Yep.
And maybe this is the one that changes their life.
Exactly.
I mean, it like Nate said, it's not us. We're just spitting this back out.
Yeah, 100%. And the phone and the internet and all that stuff is a tool, just like a hammer, only because I'm looking at a hammer on Ryan's wall. People don't pick up that hammer unless they need to use the hammer. So pick up the phone when you need to use the phone.
That's such a good way of putting it.
And pick up the hammer when you need to use the hammer. And so
sometimes you need to hammer the phone.
So yeah, sometimes you could do that too. But yeah, it's an interlocked spider web, and we are not perfect people either here at Suffer Up, but we strive. We're striving to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose, and that's our mission here. Sorry, I stuttered in like screensaver mode.
Buffering.
Got the little beach ball of thought. Anyway,
the dial-up tones were playing in Nate's head. Yeah. Before I forget, you were talking about putting your phone up, and I just wanted to mention a cool product that I saw recently was actually Sydney showed it to me. This little phone box. It looks like a little garden gnome house.
Okay.
Like with a door on the front, but it's got slots in it for 2 or 3 phones.
Okay.
And it's got holes cut in it, so like you could have your phone sound on and you still hear it. Your phone's still getting phone calls and stuff like that. Like it's not isolated to the extent of being off, basically. But this little phone box that you purposefully have in your house, and every day when you get home from work, you put your phone in the phone box, and the phone stays in the phone box until the morning when you're ready to mess with your phone again.
That's a good idea.
But just literally like having a little home for your phone makes it so the pocket on your shorts. I just did something weird with my speech there too.
The pockets.
You're rubbing off on me, man.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're deflecting. Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep going.
We're losing it, brother.
Yeah.
Anyways, the pocket on your shorts or pants doesn't become the home for your phone, or your hand isn't the permanent home for your phone.
Yeah.
You can put this thing someplace. It's out of sight, out of mind. It's not just sitting on the arm of the couch or on the table.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna see a notification pop up. That's the benefit of this little box. Anyways, I thought that was a really cool product, and I was like, that's very simple, very cheap, and just something that people could probably use to isolate. It's not phone time versus it's phone time.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that.
Cool.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anyways,
maybe we'll make them and sell them.
We'll Suffer Up phone box.
Suffer Up phone box.
That'd be cool. You guys let us know if that's something that you want us to do.
In order to get it back, you gotta the hammer comes out and smacks your hand. you
have to punch in how many miles you ran.
Yeah, you have to run at least 5 miles to get your phone back.
We're kidding.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's evil. We love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Suffer Up podcast with Nate and Ryan. Please, again, if you'd like to support this channel, you can go over to our link tree, and there is a Sticker Mule store up. Get you some stickers, keychain, merchandise, all that good stuff. And just support the channel in a little small way, and stay tuned for more info and updates.
If you're going to be on social media, check out Suffer Up.
Yeah, just Suffer Up. Just look it up, follow us, and give us a shout. We're going to be doing some races this fall. It's going to be exciting. And when those happen, we'll put them up so that way if any of you guys that are listening would like to meet us, run with us, race with us, whatever, you guys can.
We have an event in the works.
Yep.
Hopefully. So it's in the works, but we haven't solidified anything about it yet. So as more details come available for that, we will share with you guys and get y'all involved.
Yeah, that's it. So thanks, guys, so much for listening. Stay tuned for next Monday's episode. Love y'all.
Suffer Up.